Morning YouTube, this is Lonesome, and it's been a long time. I guess quickly, apologies / explanation. We've had a little health crisis in my family. I've been playing caregiver to my elderly mom who's in really bad shape. So that's why I've not made a video since my initial little thing on Scram. I'll do a quick update on that this weekend. It is Saturday, November 10th, and I want to show you, plus document this for myself actually, little build we did on Wednesday, 2 days ago. This is my new chicken coop, which I made for my new chickens, which I'll show you in just a sec. It's a very simple 4x4 box. I put it on stilts for a couple of reasons. One is for clean out. This is the back of it. This is a clean out door. So I can just walk up here, open the door, and I can shovel the bedding material into a wheelbarrow and take it right over there to my compost pile. That's a compost bin, which I made, I guess, I don't know, a year ago. Anyway, so that's why it's so high. Plus, if you've ever had chickens, you know they like to get below something, especially in the summertime, for shade. So that structure provides a little bit of shade. Obviously, as the sun moves, the shade moves. You can see right there how much of a shadow it's casting right now. It gets very hot in the south, so shade's a big deal. Anyway, this is, again, dead simple. Give you the quick tour. It's about 80% repurposed materials I had left over laying around the place anyway. The 4x4s were left over from a fencing project that I did about 4 or 5 years ago. I've kept them in storage because if you have land or live in a homestead, never throw anything away. Prime example, I eventually used them. I bought the deck blocks new because this ground is very rocky. We're standing on shell, basically. And it didn't make a whole lot of sense to make post holes. It'd be a pain in the butt, number one. Number two, if I ever decide to move this thing, 2 people can pick this up and move it. So 2x4 construction for the floor. I'm going to point right here. This little base is just a 4-foot square, and the floor is a 1/2 inch of plywood, so I had to buy a new sheet of plywood and cut it in half. The primed siding I had left over from a project we did last summer at the front of the house, so that would cost you money. I obviously didn't have it. Roofing, you could do whatever you wanted to do. I had a piece of plywood left over. I went thin plywood. I have a house wrapping under here because I did not have any felt paper laying around. I just went house wrap. And then the metal was left over from a shed project years ago. So again, you never throw anything away. You'll use it eventually. Excuse me. And sure enough, I did. Years later, when it warms up, I will paint this. I got some paint on sale at Walmart. That's kind of a rusty barn red. I still need to cut the trim. This needs to be caulked, trimmed, and need to get some rubber up here because where we live, there'll be nothing but wasp and dirt daubers by summertime. Anyway, it's, again, simple, just a 4x4 box. The kennel, the dog kennel, I had sitting in, not really storage, I've been laying around against a fence, another part of the property, for like 10 years. That's why you see all the vines and foliage, which I tore most of it off, but this literally has been unused for 10 years. So instead of doing a bunch of fencing, I made this ultra portable. If I want to move it, I can. If I want to move that coop, I can move the coop. And it's a small little yard, and when it comes to be springtime, summertime, you know, better weather, when I'm here, I can let the chickens out and they can roam around the place for, you know, grass and seeds and bugs. Let me show you real quick. They literally were in here last night for the first night. We got below freezing. We got to 25, 27 last night. So I built this just for winter purposes. I had them, I'm going to give you a shot. That is a kitchen garden over there. And that is a portable chicken coop I built about 5 years ago. But it's about half open air, just like a cage. Like a cage almost. So that's not good for below freezing. So in here, I got six hens, maybe too dark. I'm gonna try this. You can see the roost goes right down the middle. So it's enough room for 6 hens, but they'll also have their body heat, and the small structure will retain their heat. There's natural ventilation because I haven't caulked yet. But once it's caulked up, there'll be ventilation through the roof right until I get it tight. Have a hole right there for a heat lamp, and this is all through the front door. Very simple. Front door ramp was thrown together for materials left over, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You got a front door, you got a back door, and what I forgot to mention while I was outside, what I am going to do is put right here on this wall will be a nesting box, just one. It's going to be a rollout box, so I can walk out here, lift the lid up, get my eggs without having to walk inside. So that's pretty much it. I will give you an update as I improve it. I'm still lacking chicken wire at the bottom for predators, not to keep them in, just to keep predators out. I'm going to put chicken wire at the bottom, you know, bury it a little bit in the ground. It's open air, which is not good. I have a hawk problem here, as well as possums can go in there easily, or a cat. Matter of fact, there's a stray cat around here. So I will have bird netting up next week. It's supposed to arrive on Tuesday. And get the netting up, get the wire around it, the chicken wire I mean. And I'm pretty much finished. And then the painting is just something I like to do. You don't have to. So that is a quick update. Oh, I didn't tell you about the chickens. This is my first experience with ISA, or ISA, how you pronounce it, ISA Browns. They're a sex-linked chicken, which I've never owned. I have experience with, they're very docile, as you can tell. They're real calm. What's up, girls? It's a little bit chilly. We're below freezing. The first time I've experienced that ever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I've had barred rocks, which I like a lot because I think they're pretty. They're a little more flighty than these. I've had Rhode Island Reds, which are a little bit more aggressive. They're not mean, but they're not really friendly either. This, again, my experience. I'm not a chicken expert by any means. And I've had a New Hampshire before. I guess that's, oh, and Buff Orpingtons. These are more like Buff Orpingtons. Very gentle, very docile. They're laid back. You pick them up and hold them. They don't mind it. They're just good girls. So that's going to be my eggs next year. So that's the newest update on the homestead. Is they're about 3.5 months old. This is November, so next spring I'll start getting eggs. So that's it. Y'all have a good weekend.